As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more.
This one was a surprise for me. I was really surprised when I saw this headline. And this is where I really want chat's opinion, in addition, obviously, to you guys. But the headline here is G Fuel announces multi-year partnership with Tyler Ninja Blevins. So Ninja signing with G Fuel. They announced a multi-year partnership. Obviously, Ninja, one of the biggest names in gaming, 70 million fans around the world. Time Magazine, 100 most influential people of 2019, right? Maybe the gamer that people know most clearly. I'll read the quote from Cliff Morgan, who, by the way, was the very first guest on the Business of Esports podcast and a good friend of the podcast. He says, "It's incredible to work with a gaming icon like Ninja. He's an exemplary representation of what it means to be a gaming personality and an entertainer. I think the creative combination of G Fuel and Ninja will thrill fans worldwide." Now, if anyone remembers, Ninja used to have a drink sponsor. It was Redbull. Mm-hmm. And he had like his Redbull like streaming room in his house. And I think at one point they even did Ninja themed Redbull cans. I mean, there's no one's going to be insulted by me saying Red Bull's a way larger drink company than G Fuel. Now, in the gaming world, G Fuel has done exceptionally well, right? Been massively successful. But is anyone surprised to see Ninja go from a Red Bull to a G Fuel in terms of drink sponsor? And do you guys like this? Do you like what do you read into this? I guess. Jeff, start with you.
Ooh, putting me on the spot. I mean, I guess there's a couple of things. I mean, maybe it's a reflection a little bit on Ninja's popularity, which I think as Fortnite's popularity has waned, I think it's not controversial to say that Ninja's popularity maybe has waned, or other big gaming stars have kind of caught up. He was sort of the first mainstream massive gaming celebrity, at least that I think broke kind of the collective consciousness of the mainstream. Others have now caught up, so maybe there's some element of maybe Red Bull didn't want to pay him what they were paying him. I don't know if I buy that, but that's one argument. The other argument is maybe he was able to extract a better deal at a G Fuel, right? Because he has more leverage over them than he has over Red Bull. So maybe he got a significant amount of equity or just a better kind of deal. I assume it's probably that versus the former, but I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks.
I love it. Oh, sorry, Paul.
No, it was just, let me just respond to that and throw it to you, Jimmy. If it was all about, you think, size of the deal, I mean, you would think a Red Bull, a Mountain Dew, right? Any of the huge, like more mainstream drink companies who are owned by massive conglomerates could probably have paid more, right? Could probably have outbid a G Fuel.
More cash, yeah, but that's why I like Jeff's point about equity, because we've known from Ninja for a while now with his book and with what he was doing as he, I don't want to say shied away from Fortnite, but like this was right around the time Booga won World, it was like 3 years ago. And we knew that Ninja was a great personality, but probably not like top 100 competitive players. And he was building a brand for himself as like the most, because again, with esports and gaming, it's this collaboration of talent and entertainment as opposed to traditional sports where it's mostly talent. And what I love about this and what I've known from other startup projects that I've been a part of that Ninja has had a hand in is that he wanted equity in those projects. You know, he wanted to solidify his brand, his long-term reputation, his kind of ownership of the gaming industry, so to speak. Absolutely, Red Bull, Mountain Dew, any of them can pay him more cash up front, but then that check stops eventually one day, right? If he partially owns G Fuel and they get bought out or they go public or whatever they do, Ninja, I think that's it's also a proud thing for his portfolio, right? There's no brand in gaming that I could think of, at least from, let's exclude Razer and some of the peripheral manufacturing companies that do tech. But as far as drinks and merch and food, I mean, name one that's bigger than G Fuel. It's hard to think of one off top for me, at least. They're so dominant here that I love that this is a true gaming cultural product that, yeah, he could have gone bigger, better anywhere else, but maybe Jeff's comment on equity just makes so much sense to me.
Everyone wants that 50 cent, vitamin water money, right? That famous story where 50 Cent made like 300 million on vitamin water. I think that's what Ninja wants. He's not going to get paid 300 million by Red Bull.
So none of you think
of,
there was any chance he did this deal without equity?
Why would he?
Lindsay?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of maybe what the driving forces behind it. And someone in chat mentioned that his wife also stepped down as his manager. I'm wondering too if there's just a refocusing, perhaps like sort of a next phase in life. Because he did the mainstream thing for a long time, right? He went on that one singing show. He did all the celebrity streams. He did all of this stuff. Maybe he just wants to get back to kind of streaming and building his online community and just being a gamer again, and kind of stepping back from all the huge stuff that he's been a part of for the past couple years. This would certainly be in line with that. Again, this is all conjecture just about the direction he's gone in with his wife stepping down. It could just be that, yeah, he's looking for those longer term deals. He's getting back into just being a gamer, and he's kind of looking for something different than a lot of the big mainstream brands.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we've made this argument on this show to say, the lifespan of these celebrities, any celebrity, Ninja included, is limited, right? You're hot for a period of time and then you're not so hot anymore, right? And someone else is hot. You would think it's all about maximum monetization in the times when you're hot. I agree Ninja's not on the rise in terms of his celebrity, right? Like the peak Fortnite was probably peak Ninja, but he's still, I feel, in that money-making kind of period where his brand is still extremely valuable. His reach is still extremely valuable. It feels weird to not be maximizing. Like I'm just taking the other side here, to not be going for every possible dollar while his star is still, at least high in the sky.
Well, I think that's why we all jumped to the equity piece. I think he's trying to, like Timmy said, get this longevity and kind of like extend his useful life period.
No one thinks it's because maybe the Red Bull deal didn't perform and he didn't have as many options as maybe we think he had.
But then doesn't that go against he's still a star, you should extract a lot of money?
I mean, I don't know, right? Like a lot of this, a lot of his following, I assume, is younger. Maybe they couldn't drink Red Bull, right? Like who's the primary audience for Red Bull? Maybe it's not the average 14-year-old Fortnite player, right? So it's not necessarily that, like, could this be better alignment with his audience? Could this be better alignment with his more family-friendly kind of brand? I'm curious to get you guys' comments on that, but let me read some comments here.
It feels like you really want us to have a different answer than our answer.
Arthur Barbecue says, to be fair, G Fuel signs up with a lot of people from big to not so small through niche specific famous people. So hardly surprised. I'm not a fan of these drinks being advertised from a health perspective point of view, but I suppose it's a lot better than NFTs, crypto, or selling a particular blue light face cream.
I missed you, Hardware Barbecue.
Hardware Barbecue woke up and chose violence today. I don't says, but that's my view. Hardly worth 2 cents. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than running. I mean, G Fuel's a legitimate product. It's a good product. The management there is good, right? It's a good company. I'm not surprised to see Ninja want to align his brand there. I'm just so curious what the economics of the deal look like, right? I am really, really curious if he actually got equity or not. Tom Leonard says, just as his wife Jessica drops out as manager. Yeah, I don't buy that had much bearing on this, even though I think in the article it did say his new management, which I think is CAA, did bring the deal. So I wonder if it's them also like wanting to show their value as this transition happens. Hardware Barbecue says, I like how Ninja built his brand. Kind of reminds me of how Jonathan Fatality Wendell did during the pre-social media days. Yeah, he seems to be doing it on his own terms, right? And he understands who his audience is, and he's not. And I think if you listen to the Jessica Blevins episode, that's completely backed up there. Like that they did it their own way. They knew sort of what the brand meant to them and what it represented and who they had influence over, right? A lot of times it was younger kids, and were very conscious of the kind of partnerships that they did.
I'd also add that this isn't the first, obviously, energy drink sponsorship Ninja's had. So they are very well aware with other sponsorships as well, how many units they can move, how loyal and engaged their fan base is, right? And what they can push, what's authentic to them, and what their fans receive well and will buy or will do based off of his endorsement. And so when you think of factors like that, it's hard to imagine that Red Bull pulled out and was the one to tell him no. I would more so believe that he had a large share, especially with CAA, that he had a large share of any multiple of these companies that we've talked about tonight with different offers on the table. And this was the one that was the most enticing to him. So like you said, we'll never know without seeing the terms of that deal, but profit share, perhaps, equity, absolutely, a cash guarantee, most certainly as well. All we know is I think G Fuel gave him the deal that he wanted. It's very hard for me to think that he had no other options and took this because he was ditched by Red Bull and couldn't get Mountain Dew or the new Coca-Cola energy drink, or the market's so saturated with energy drinks, right? So I guess that's my last takeaway from that.
All right, guys, let's move on. I'm just going to read these last two comments. SEO says Ninja is epic. He is. And what he's done for the industry is massive. Hardware Barbecue smiles. Christopher says, does Ninja break G Fuel out of Twitch viewership, or was that an opportunity missed? Being he's pass to hardcore or passe to hardcore.
What does it mean, break G Fuel out of Twitch viewership?
Meaning like a lot of G Fuel, I would say, buyers or enthusiasts probably come from all the Twitch streamers that they sponsor. And so therefore most of their customer base probably lives on Twitch.
I think it's possible. Like we said, Ninja's the most mainstream, of esports stars. So I think it's possible he brings mainstream.
The question is like, does the mainstream care about drinking G Fuel? I don't know.
No, but they might because of Ninja, right?
They
it's
might
like,
because
did
of
anyone
Ninja.
did people really need to drink Gatorade? No, but like Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, and all these people started, it became a thing. Like, doesn't really hydrate you any better than water, to be honest.
True. Chris says mainstream versus gamers only. Yeah. I think it does. I agree. I agree with Jeff on that one. I do think it does break. You do get a breakout of the gamer kind of sphere, and especially of the Twitch sphere, because I do think Ninja, better than anyone, transcends that.